All right, today I'm going to make cheesecake, and this is a no-bake cheesecake that takes 3 to 4 ingredients for the filling, depending if you're going to use vanilla, which I am. So to start, it's going to be easiest if you have a mixer like this, because you're going to start with heavy whipping cream, and you're going to whip it for about roughly 3 minutes until it forms peaks. So to start, we need 3/4 cups of cold heavy whipping cream. This is a brand new bottle. Let me open it up. All right. So I got my measuring cup here. Put it off to the side. All right. 3/4 cup of cold whipping cream. Set that to the side. I'll put that back in the fridge in a minute. So 3/4 cup. I don't know if you saw that or not. Going in. You can use whatever bowl to mix it in. I'm using the small one because as of right now, this is the only thing you're going to put in here, and then you're going to set this aside. So make a note of that when you start this process, that you're going to set this aside, and then we're going to use the bigger bowl for the other part of the recipe. So I am going to put this on like a medium-high for about roughly 3 minutes. So it's 5 after, so about 8 after, it should look like it's got peaks forming. And while that is doing that, I'm going to crush up graham crackers for the crust. So, rip that down. Make sure I get all of that in there. And I'm just going to use a foil pan today. So, just whatever, doesn't matter. And then you want to crush up your graham crackers real fine, and then we're going to combine that with butter. So let me do that. Okay, so when I started, I kind of had it on too low of a setting, and so you really want to make sure you have a high setting on here to get it to that stage. Oh goodness. So I'll show you kind of what. So you want it to where it's thick, kind of like a, so see how there's a peak in there? And this probably could be mixed a little bit more, but I'm going to leave it at this because it's already been mixing for some time and I don't want to over mix it. So we're just going to roll with it. And then I got about I used 1 packet of graham crackers. You can use the store graham cracker crust too, but I feel like this is better because I can make it thicker. I like a thicker crust on the bottom. I don't like it going up the sides, so I don't know. This will be interesting to see if it sets up to where I can slice it without it being on the sides. So then you're going to take a separate bowl on the mixer. And we're going to add our, oh, hold on, let me grab them. Okay, there we go. Our 2 blocks of cream cheese, or what is it, 16 ounces total? Yes, 16 ounces of cream cheese total, and you want it to be softened, and you're going to put it by itself into the mixer, and you're going to just kind of incorporate a little bit of air to make it fluffy. So just like 30 seconds is what it said. Alright, so that's good. I'm going to actually start it to fling it off. Hopefully. Nope, it doesn't want to come off. Anyways, and then you're going to add your sweetened condensed milk. So 1 entire can of sweetened condensed milk. This stuff is so good. Right into this cream cheese. It is so very sticky, so you want to get it all out with a spoon because you're not going to get it all otherwise. Okay, and then you're going to put in optional 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I'm going to do it because I like baked goods with vanilla. I know this is technically not a baked good, but 1 teaspoon of vanilla, so optional. But I like vanilla flavoring, so. And then you're just going to mix that all together. Come on. Okay. So now I'm going to scrape the sides of this and mix it a little bit better in the bowl before I add the rest. So 3 ingredients to make the filling, 4 if you add the vanilla flavoring. You could also do it, you know, different kinds of things. This is your basic cheesecake recipe. So there's like different ones like cookie types with like Oreos. And they make Oreo pie crust, or you could make your own. Kind of the same concept. I'm just making sure. I'm trying to get out any big lumps. So I'm actually going to, I see quite a few big lumps. With the cream cheese, you just want to make sure that you get it incorporated really well, where there's not any big chunks. So I'm gonna put that. Woo! I did not mean to turn it on that high. Holy moly! I just went a little bit higher. There we go. Just make sure that it is smooth. Okay, so I think that's as smooth as that is going to get. And now we are going to incorporate our other mixture of, come on, they're always so hard to get back off, of the heavy whipping cream. So that was set aside in this bowl right here. It almost looks like a frosting. That's what you want, that consistency. Oops, I'm making a mess. So you're gonna take a spatula, and now, well, let me move the mixer real quick. Okay, now we're going to take this mixture and we're going to fold in the heavy whipping cream. You want to keep it fluffy because that's what cheesecake is, a fluffy dessert. So you're just going to fold it in, and I'm going to show you what that means. Some people don't know what that means. It's like hard but not hard, you know? One of those things. It's just all about being gentle to keep it, the air, keeping it soft. So you're just kind of folding it, right? Without like mixing, right? Just gently kind of scooping it from the bottom and bringing it to the top. Gently. You want to keep it fluffy. I've seen recipes though where you could use whipped cream instead of the heavy whipping cream and condensed milk, I guess. But I've not tried those, so I don't know if it's any easier, but that looks pretty fluffy to me. And then you just put it on your crust. And then you're going to put it in the fridge for about 8 hours. Not gonna lie, I'm not sure mine's gonna last in the fridge at 8 hours, but this might be something we can eat tomorrow, I guess. It's 5:30 at night, so now we're just gonna pour that in there. I pre-made, this is a lot. Okay, I didn't know with this sized container if it would fit, but no, that looks great. I pre-made the toppings. You can buy the toppings, you know, obviously from the store. And sometimes I do that for my cheesecake. But this time I cut up strawberries and got some blueberries. And then I added sugar. See, that's what you want right there. Like, so when you pull it up, that's a peak. So when it like kind of comes up and it just kind of stays there, that's a peak, okay? So I've got the strawberries and blueberries in the fridge already. I just sprinkled some sugar on them and mixed them up. And then that'll be our toppings. And now I put it with a lid on it in the fridge overnight. And tomorrow, for our lunch, I guess after lunch, we will have some cheesecake. So that's it. It's pretty simple. It's a little time consuming to make the heavy cream whipped. But other than that, it's really not bad. It's pretty simple. So you need 2 bricks or 16 ounces of softened cream cheese. You need 3/4 cup of heavy whipping cream, cold, and mine might have not been as cold as it should have been, maybe, and that's why it wasn't whipping as easy, as fast. So you want to make sure it's cold. It helps. Whip that in a separate dish, and then your cream cheese. I used 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and then 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, and mixed those. The recipe calls for you to kind of get air in the cream cheese a little bit before, so you kind of want to get it smooth and kind of whipped like the consistency of this, and then add your sweetened condensed milk, your vanilla, and then once that's all combined and no lumps, big lumps, smooth, you're going to want to fold in, like I showed you, the heavy cream that you whipped earlier, and then you're just going to put it on your crust, and then refrigerate it for about 8 or so hours, I guess, and it should set up. You'll know, when it's going to be jiggly, but it's going to be more firm, of course. So that's it. Super simple, just a few ingredients, and you can really play around and make it yours. You could add cinnamon to the pie crust. You could do it with different things, like different types of cookies. A lot of people use vanilla wafers, those like vanilla flavored cookies. Some people use Oreos, whatever. And then you could really incorporate fruit in there, or whatever you really desire. You could do all kinds of different cheesecakes, but this is your very basic, easy cheesecake. So, yeah, it's that simple. So I will try to post a picture when it's finished, if it doesn't get devoured before I remember to get a finished photo of it. And then I opt to leave my toppings on the side because not everybody likes the same toppings. So, like I said, those are in my fridge, and you can really do anything you wanted with that. So, thanks for watching.